What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the South End Zone. Welcome to the Pump the Brakes because Chad wants to be nice to some people, I guess. We're going to pump some people's tires mini series, preseason series, whatever you want to call it. Before we get into all of that, I want to make sure that everybody likes, comments, subscribes. We appreciate all the love on the preseason previews for our own teams. And now we're going to do a little virtual road trip around college football and, kind of talk about these guys who people are, giving a lot of hype to, for being honest. You know what I mean, Chad? We had some guys who, left off last season with, a lot of people thinking, oh, they have to be better, right? They have to be good. They have to be this, they have to be that. Well, they don't have to be anything, Chad, because that's just how things
They got to prove
work.
it on the field. The tendency, I understand it's human nature. The tendency is we want to see the logical the logical progression of oh, well, this guy was this good last year, so he's going to take a step forward and be that much better. Well, the sequel's not always necessarily as good as the original. So be careful, pump the brakes. Let's not get over our skis, and let's just kind of we're just bringing a little breath of reality, realism, and just taking a little more of a conservative approach to the massive hype trains that are going on for some guys that we're trying to see where the hype is coming from. And so, Tyler, I'll let you get this thing started.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's already seen by the thumbnail and by the title of this episode that we're going to talk about DJ Lagway and the Florida Gators first. What do you see when you look at the guy who played pretty well against you guys last year before he got hurt? But what do you see for his prospects going forward in 2025?
On a very surface level, I see what everybody else sees, and that's a man who stands at 6'2", 247 pounds under center. And when you see somebody with that frame and that size, they just have to be good, right? They have to be. And that's
Five-star kid coming out of high school, all that stuff. Yeah.
And that's where I feel like some of us get into trouble. In the national media and the YouTube media, whatever you want to call it, you see him, right? He's a specimen. There's no, and there will ever be no denying that about him. But let's just pump the brakes in this mini series on DJ Lagway just a little bit, because he comes in for Graham Mertz. Graham Mertz was supposed to be Billy Napier's starter last year, gets hurt, out for the season, the whole deal, right? So Lagway steps in. And of course, when you get the young guy, it's almost like when the rookie steps into a preseason game and lights it up. It's like, you're like, oh my God, that's it. Oh my God, we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Let's
look. That's the way it was with Jaden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier after the SEC championship game performance. Even though we lost to you guys, and then the bowl game performance where we played Purdue and they were alternating Daniels and Nussmeier, there were people in Jaden Daniels' Heisman season, 3-4 games in, wondering why Nussmeier wasn't getting more looks. And then Jaden Daniels won the Heisman Trophy. So, I get it. Backup quarterback syndrome is a thing.
It absolutely is a thing. So he steps in to play Sanford in the swamp, throws for 456 yards and 3 tuds, and they're like, Cam Newton, where's number 2 on his shirt?
Never mind the competition.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's like, we're back, baby. 08, Tebow, who are you? Never heard of him. Steve Spurrier, don't even know him. What others? After they got boat raced by Miami, mind you, let's not forget that. But throughout the season, it's like he's not playing the whole game. He throws for 6 passes. It's like the sample size that we have of this guy is also why I'm like, are we really sure? I see what people mean, but let's be for real. A lot of the credit also comes, no offense, Chad, against LSU, but that's still, he threw for 50% that game, 226 and a touchdown.
He doesn't run.
He does not run. He is shockingly
more like a
not
Donovan
that.
McNabb, where it's the ability behind the line of scrimmage to find the ball downfield, find the receiver downfield, but not using his legs to not like Lenore Sellers or Cam Newton, where it was I'm going to churn up 60, 80, 100 yards in a game.
Right. He only ran for 50 yards last year. So it's it's nothing too crazy, if we're being honest, And then, the Ole Miss game, which is what got a lot of buzz, but it really kind of fell on more of the Florida defense and Jackson Dart throwing that entire game away down in the swamp, and the magic that happens down in Gainesville, Florida. He threw for 182 tons of interception, and despite the interception, they still come away with the win, even though really they should not have. It was Ole Miss handing them that game. And what I always find funny is midway through the season, people like you and me, and I think media around the world, especially down in Florida, are like, why is Billy Napier still our head coach?
Yeah.
But before the LSU game, before the Ole Miss game, literally, like, we're talking fire him. Yep. Launch him into the sun.
Even after they had beaten us, it was still like, why are we going to fire Billy Napier? What's going on?
Like, are we serious right now?
But so like to your point, he doesn't run. He had a total of 51 attempts for 101 rushing yards, but then you take into account the fact that a big chunk of that came in the one game against Kentucky where he has 9 carries for 46 yards. The rest of the time, it's just like he might scramble here or there for like a first down, on 3rd and 4 or something like that. But he's not. He's taking sacks and he's not really eating up the field downfield. So you're thinking, oh well, he's getting his stuff through the air, and that's where all the hype's coming from. No, and I know he didn't play the entire season, but the dude has 2 300-yard passing games in his career, and they're against Samford at home. Samford, not Stanford, Samford in Alabama, and Tulane in the bowl game where he went 22 for 35 for 305, a touchdown and 2 picks
against Tulane's backups.
Yes,
and that's the other thing. It's like we're also in it. I really want to put this out there that bowl season is almost becoming a hybrid of NFL in preseason in the sense of like the guys who are going to most likely be the starter for the next season look amazing against the other team's JV team. And then, oh my God, like Jackson Arnold had that same kind of buzz before before starting season in Oklahoma. Oh my God, we're going to be the best team on the planet Earth. So Lagway finished last year's season with 1,900 yards. So 1915, 59% completion percentage.
12 touchdowns.
12 touchdowns. You want what I want to find nuts? Because he's lost his 2 top receivers, DK and Elijah Badger and Chimere DK. Both very good, by the way. Like, don't let me short them. You want to know how many yards they combined for, Chad?
Probably almost all of his receiving.
1,589 of the 1915.
Now, I know some of that was from Mertz. It wasn't all from Lagway.
For sure. Like, let me walk that back a little bit. But still, if you Google DJ Lagway highlights, passing highlights, 85% of those is those 2 guys. And I'm like, those guys are sick. Does he have them back? No, he doesn't. They're both in the NFL. So what that is, I don't know. But
just to give you a little perspective, Graham Mertz threw for 791 yards and 6 touchdowns last year. So it ain't like there was that much to go around.
Yes.
So it was those 2 guys were half of their passing offense as a team.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. They do bring back.
They do return a lot of their offensive line.
Yeah, Eugene Wilson, the receiver.
The protection's going to be there. I think the 4 out of their 5 starters on the offensive line are back. They don't return a lot of defensive guys, and so that's another part. So just not just Lagway, but Florida. The thing is, what we're talking about is we're not saying DJ Lagway's not good. We're not saying he's not going to be competent, capable. What we're saying is people are already giving him the Heisman. And and what we're saying based on what?
That's exactly right. He is built to be a Heisman quarterback, but will he be? We need him to show us a little bit. We are simply asking that question: will he be? Because based off of what we have seen so far, it could go either way, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But we need to we're just adding some realism into the because we sit around especially all things being what they are. There's football this weekend. There's football next weekend. We're coming in hot, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
So we're here. And so, in the dog days of July, we're like, oh my God, I can't wait to watch DJ Lagway and Lenora Sellers, all these guys, because, we don't know nothing. Nothing's been written yet, and we're trying to write it for them. And that's the hard part.
And not for nothing, but if Billy Napier still has his job at the end of this season, and if DJ Lagway somehow gets an invite to New York, they will have absolutely earned it. Because do you want to hear the schedule?
Yes, I do. I was going to that next.
So they've got Long Island and South Florida to start. All right, guys, great.
That's
you can start off most likely 2-0. Yeah, most likely 2-0 to start.
Just became true Division One not long ago too. That's
then you get at LSU, at Miami, Texas at home, at Texas A&M, Mississippi State. You get a little break there. Then Georgia in the cocktail party. Then at Kentucky, at Ole Miss, Tennessee, and then a Florida State program that we would hope has a little bit of a bounce back.
You would only hope.
An atrocious year. So that's not going to be necessarily a cakewalk there, and that's a big rivalry game. So, but that's like to think that Florida State is like one of their like cake matchups going for that, like the one that you look like, yeah, that should be a guaranteed win. I see 4, maybe 5, like should be wins. Long Island, South Florida, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Florida State. Okay.
And that should be on Florida State. Like, you don't know what they'll show up with this year, too. You know what I mean?
The other ones, LSU, Miami, Texas, A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, those 7 games, I could easily see them losing 4 or 5 of those.
Well, you know what's and think about this, it's like from a rivalry / historical standpoint. The fact that Florida, for the second year in a row, has to play. Like, name me any other team where 2 of your biggest historical rivals are 1 in-state and 2 out of conference, and you have to play them in the same season.
Yeah.
With Miami and Florida State.
Right.
That's tough, man. I mean, they got us down in Jacksonville. That's a W for us. But it's all we're saying is that let's just take it easy, guys. We want, for all the guys that are going to be mentioned in this series, we want great things for them, because you know what that's going to do? It's going to make college football amazing. That would be really awful if these guys all fall short of expectations, because there's just no fun in that. There's zero fun in that. All the fun is in believing they're going to be great, but we're just here to give you a little dose of reality.
Don't get disappointed when they don't live up to the hype, because the hype is insane.
Hey, Florida, South Carolina fans, you're asking a lot of these guys coming into their second season as a starter. Second full-time season, really first full-time season for both of them as the starter. Let's be for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, don't get your hopes up too high so that you're not catastrophically disappointed when things don't work out the way that you had hoped they would. But DJ Lagway is not the only guy in this series. So we have 3 other guys that we're going to talk about. 2 that are pump the brakes, and we got 1 little surprise that's going to be a pump the tires, because I think he's not getting the hype that he deserves necessarily. A lot of you may not have even ever heard of him, but you are going to hear about him here. And so, Tyler, your last takes on DJ Lagway. Where are we looking at? Is he going to New York for the Heisman ceremony? And is Florida going to win 8 games?
Is Florida going to win 8 games? No, they're going to win 7.
I agree.
This has been the South End Zone. We appreciate this. And it's the South End Zone Pump the Brakes mini series. We appreciate y'all for coming out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We out.